so funny because like every time I go to a restaurant or something, they're always like, "Oh, you want to have some drinks?" And I'm like, "I don't drink." They're like, "What? What the heck? You don't drink?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't drink." Like, you're like the first person I've ever heard on this island to say that you don't drink. You see everyone getting drunk, everyone's drinking all day, every day, and I'm just
Yeah.
there, like, just like vibing and just like having a good old time. Probably think I'm drunk because I'm like laughing and doing all these things, but like, and then like, what are you drinking, sir? I'm like, no, water, sparkling. Like, they're like, what the heck? They're like, you've never seen anyone like that. And then I'll be walking down like the road, and it's crazy. Like all of these people just start coming up to me, and like it's like what Don says, like in
Yeah.
Dubai, it's like it's so crazy. You just holding your light, like people are naturally like, wow, like what does this guy have? And it's like, yo, I'm just a reflection of you, dude. The unrealized part of you. And we're live. We are
All
live.
right.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Beautiful souls. We got Kenya in the house. We got New Zealand. We got Australia, at least here on the Zoom. And then we got people all over. If you're in Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or one of the other platforms, make sure to, if you could please just drop like your state, country, city, wherever you're calling in from. That way we kind of get a better idea of where you're calling in from. Um, it's exciting. We got some really amazing things happening. A lot of things in the works currently. Literally just entered the 19th country since pre-launch. 19 countries in a pre-launch. I've never heard of that ever before. Wait, actually, it's literally still a pre-launch of the pre-launch because I mean, yo, they really don't want us to win. Like they're out here, like they don't want us to be able to even process payments. But guess what? We still processing payments.
Ain't
We're still
stopping us
doing
now,
it.
brother.
Ain't nothing stopping us. Oh man, it's interesting. Like, wow, like the banking system really does not want people to win. And we have an amazing system that is really designed to help people have freedom and to be high on life, like Tui right now. Like, come on, look at this guy just in his joy. Like how awesome is that? It's like we have something absolutely magnificent, beautiful for you guys that we've created over the last. I mean, really, it's been a culmination of years, but the last few months we've been putting it together because no one else did. No one else knew how to put it together and what it was is the consciousness and the currency. And so I'm going to play a quick video for you guys to kind of give you an overview of the information I'm going to dive into here in just a little bit. So sit tight and enjoy the show. Okay, make sure the audio, video, awesome. Here you go. And bam.
Witness the dawn of a new era in a world where consciousness and currency converge. Join Don Smith as he guides personal transformation. Introducing AI Polo, your gateway to financial freedom, where spiritual enlightenment meets financial abundance. Join our network and unlock infinite earning potential. Divinfi. Elevate your consciousness. Multiply your currency. Join the revolution today.
Let's go. Absolutely love that video. And whenever it's not lagging, it's just that much more awesome. I think I figured out how to not have it to lag. So Join the revolution today. What is the revolution? We are creating a freedom revolution here at Divinfi, your freedom ecosystem. And so if you don't know who I am, my name is Sam Hidge. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Divinfi. And I was actually talking to Tui about this. Like I take this role on, but I don't actually get compensated for it. I just take on more responsibility because I see the potential and really using the skills that I've gained over the last 12 years to really help the everyday person, because um, it really is bigger than myself, and we're here to help everybody. And so I want to welcome you to the biggest launch in history. Our vision is to create an ecosystem that brings freedom to all 8 billion people here on Earth. So that's a big mission. That's a deep mission. And so what that entails is the financial, location, time, and the emotional freedom to sustain it. And really what emotional freedom is as well is the ability and the authenticity to be who you truly are. And I'll go into that a little bit more, but I think that's probably the biggest pillar out of all of what we're talking about, but you need them all. And so, I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 18, 12 years. I'm 30 now. I'll be 31 in September. It's interesting to say. And as a child in school, I was always a kid that was either sleeping or talking. They said I had the ADHD, and I gotta say that I definitely did, right? A dude had dreams. A dude had dreams. That's what ADHD stands for. So if they ever diagnosed you as ADHD, you're just special, okay? You're just special. You had dreams. And so I just wanted to be free. I wanted to be free in every single sense of the term. I didn't know what that meant, but for me, because of like the programming and TV, that was financial. I didn't grow up with money. I actually was very poor. I mean, that's like my parents came to the US with $1,000 in their pocket that they borrowed from someone else, and they had 2 kids, right? This is back in the early 90s. And so I wanted to have money. That was the only thing I really thought that mattered. And so when I was in technically my second year in college, because I had done like the collegiate program here or not here, but in the US, was in my second year in college technically, which I don't even know how I did that, but that's a long story short. And I ended up leaving school, and I got introduced to, well, I already knew him, but like we got a lot closer to my friend's older brother who was in the car exporting business. And he showed me the ropes of that industry. And so I always say this, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And so I got into the car exporting business, and I started shipping cars from the United States to places like the Dominican Republic, like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, other places in Africa, like Nigeria, and so on and so forth. And so I earned my first six-figure income at the age of 18, which is pretty awesome, especially back then, because it was actually decent money, especially at 18. You don't have kids, you don't have responsibilities. I thought that was like my end all be all. I thought I was going to be in the car business for a while, but actually there's a lot of competition. I ended up just like leaving that industry, and I got introduced to another gentleman who introduced me to the industry of network marketing, which blew my mind open because of how he was moving, how he was operating. And I asked him to mentor me, right? This guy was a little older than I. He was probably 2 or 3 years. And he was literally living a movie star lifestyle. I'm talking private jets, supercars. He retired his family at the tender age of 22, 23, something like that, right? Like super young. He already had his parents retired. And that was like, what I thought was going to fulfill me on the deepest levels. And so not so much now, but at that time I was like, hey, I want to learn everything that you do. And so I got mentored by him, and I was literally a sponge. I remember for the first few months, I would barely say anything. I was like, I'd ask him, I'd ask him some questions, but I was most of the time quiet. I was just observing how he did things, the nuances, like what he would say at certain times, how he did his presentations, how he would handle objections. like how he'd paint the vision. I just was absorbing everything that I could. I had never been a better student in my life. I mean, you put me in history class or English class, I was snoozing, but with this guy, I'm wide open and bright-eyed, bushy-tailed because it was what I wanted. It was what, this lifestyle. And so I ended up getting introduced to this industry of network marketing, which opened the door to affiliate marketing, direct sales, e-commerce, trading, Forex, and cryptocurrencies, and then eventually rental arbitrage. And I've made millions and millions of dollars in my career as an entrepreneur. And so one of the things that I personally learned was that leverage income is the key when it comes to financials and to location freedom, to time freedom, because doctors, they can earn a lot of money, right? A couple 100,000, maybe a couple $1 million a year if you have your own practice and you set it up the right way. But they don't necessarily always have the time and the location freedom. They can't just take 5 months off and go travel. And so, I had been basically semi-retired for a few years. I got married at 25. I was living in Hawaii, living the island lifestyle, and then just it was cool. I was living life. But then after the last few years, things started to really become apparent that that was not the end all be all. There was more that I was missing because in June 2023, and really the second half of 2023, things started to really intensify for me in my life, and things started to get put into my face. I started to wake up with massive anxiety, depressions, panic attacks, suicidal thoughts. At this time, I had been traveling all over Southeast Asia and East Asia with my now ex-wife, and things were getting bad. I mean, I never in my life ever thought about committing suicide, but it got to the point where I'm literally thinking about jumping off the 48th floor of my penthouse. And, maybe some people are thinking like, okay, well, how it's, that's easy for you to say. You had like the money, you don't have to be in a job, but like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You can have this lifestyle and still not be fully emotionally free. You can still be in this self-made prison. And that's exactly what happened to me. And so after this experience in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where I literally thought about jumping off of the building, I went through a couple more experiences that really tore me down to my roots. And it got me to really the base layer of who I was. So I can actually start to see myself in a clear light. I ended up going through a divorce to the woman that I was married to for over 4 years, which was really tough because I literally put my all into her and into that relationship. But it was probably the most important and best decisions I've ever made in my life, to choose myself and to choose my my path over another person, because I never had been able to be selfish for me. I was always doing everything for other people. And so I walked away. And then after that incident, I actually ended up going to jail in Bali, Indonesia, where I got caught with marijuana. And I had been smoking marijuana for 12 years. And so I was highly addicted. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to get me to tell you that I was at that time. But I went to jail for 6 days in Bali, Indonesia. They went to rehab for 17 days, and they made me pay them $50,000 US to get out of jail. Long story short, after that, I knew that I had to make some changes in my life. And so I got introduced to this gentleman right here. His name is Don Smith. I got introduced to him by Jamie Devine, who's the CEO of this ecosystem. And so Don is basically the foundational element of many big corporations and a lot of these elite, for example, elite athletes at an Olympic level in 15 different sports, billionaires, companies like BlackBerry. In fact, he helped the BlackBerry company go from $6 billion to 68 billion. And so Don has this program, which is literally something I've never seen before until I experienced it for myself. And I had done personal development up the, wazoo. I mean, I'm talking 10 plus years, invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into books and seminars and workshops, energy work. plant medicine, like name anything, and I've done it. I've gotten certified by Bob Proctor, right? Like all of these different things, and I'd never seen anything like Don's program. And so Don, he takes you to this 2 hour experience where he takes you back to the very first moment that you ever had a trauma, and he helps you release it. Because from the ages of 0, whenever you were in the womb of your mother, all the way to 7 years of age, you had your programming starting to be developed. Your subconscious mind was wide open. And so everything that you experience becomes a program. And there was this one moment in time, the very first time, where you started to play small, where you started to create these sabotage victim mentalities, this poverty consciousness, these toxic patterns. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical abuse or sexual abuse or anything like that. It can simply just be you falling off of your bike. And there was a moment in time that this happened that is affecting all of the other moments in your life. All of the things that happen in your life are really a cause of this one moment. So if you want to change the destination of your life and the experiences that you have in your life, you need to go back to the very first moment and rechange history. So that's what Don does. So he helps you release the energetic anchor that is holding you back. So I'll give you a little bit more context so you could see. So there is this chart of consciousness, which is created by a guy named Dr. Hawkins, who wrote a book called Power versus Force. Very powerful book. Highly recommend it. In this book, it talks about all of the emotions, because we experience emotions. We are not emotions. We don't have emotions. We experience them. And so they are on a scale from 0 to 1,000. It starts at shame at 20, fears at 100, courage is 200, and enlightenment is 1,000, 700 to 1,000. Okay, so as far as I'll give you a little bit of reference points so you can get some more context. So there's a guy named Hitler. We all know him, or we should know him. He was at a level 50 consciousness. Okay, now 80% of the world, 80% of the world is underneath this line right here, which is a 210. And I would say 80% of those 80 are at fear. They're in fear of losing their spouse, fear of losing their job, fear of death. Which, I mean, we're infinite beings. When you really think about it, your body is not you. Your body is simply just the vehicle that you use to operate in this realm. Similar to if you get in a car, you don't hop in the car and say, I am the vehicle. You drive the vehicle. Same thing. The consciousness operates your vehicle, aka the body. So there is really nothing to fear. Fear is just an illusion. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. So once you do Dawn's process, you face everything and rise. And what do you need to face? You need to face that one moment in time. So another reference point, all of the great masters and teachers, whether it was Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, Zoroaster, any of these great masters, they were at a level 1,000. And what they were trying to teach us and what they were preaching, and before they all got diluted and jumbled, what they were trying to say is that your natural state, you and I's natural state, is one of enlightenment. That is our natural state. Just think of a moment, if you're a parent, when you had your child, how much light came into that room when that child was born? Okay, so that's your proof. That's our natural state. Now, what happens is there's a moment in time where you have this trauma, this energetic anchor that's holding you back in these lower levels of consciousness. So what I want you to imagine happens in Dawn's process is imagine that you're at the lower levels of consciousness and you have this anchor, it's attached to you. And every time you go 30% up, the anchor brings you right back down. You go 30% up, brings you right back down. So he helps you release the anchor so you can go to your natural state of enlightenment. Okay, so Don does 2 classes a week. Tuesdays are for new clients, Thursdays are for existing clients. Speaking of, tomorrow, we're actually in about 6.5 hours. Don will be having his Tuesday transformation. So if you have not done it, and if you're already in the system, make sure to scan this QR code and answer the questionnaire and then hop on the call, because it's going to be very, very, very vital for your life. And then what we're going to talk about next. So Don's part and Don's process is the consciousness side of things. Now we're going to talk about the currency side of things, which is really important because you need both, right? You need the consciousness and then you need the currency. So actually, let me go back for a second. One without the other is devoid. Okay. You see all these monks, they're all up in these higher levels of consciousness, but they're not grounded to where they can actually make change in this world. They have a lot of the times these spiritual gurus and monks, they're broke. And then you see these billionaires, they're like only living for money. They have, really no level of consciousness, or at least a very low level of consciousness where they're not able to actually help people. So you need both. And so I'll give you a clear example. There was a guy named Tim who was one of Don's clients. He was a multi-billionaire. Okay, he had more money than he knew what to do with. So Tim had been going through some massive things in his life. He created this hell for himself. He had 5 addictions. He was addicted to drugs, alcohol, food, gambling, and sex. And within this 2-hour session, he got rid of all of his addictions. Tim was also going through a divorce. Divorce is no longer the table. Tim had so much panic attacks and anxiety that he wasn't able to fly in his $100+ million jet in over 6 months. After this process, Tim was better than ever. And to this day, he's literally living in this self-created paradise, heaven. And so that is why you need both the consciousness and the currency. And that's why we created this. That's why we created this ecosystem. So let's talk about what we have here. Today, AI is really taking off so much that people get into their car, their Tesla, they put the navigation, they put the directions, and they have the car drive them to and from work or school or wherever, and they trust their own life in the hands of AI. So it's time to start trusting AI to grow your bank account. So we have our account, or our crypto AI called Apollo, and we actually met the developer that created this back in, I believe it was May, in Dubai. And he had been developing this since 2017. And so we ended up getting access to this, and it's been absolutely revolutionary. It's doing 20 to 50% a month on our crypto future accounts. And crypto is popping off right now. So really, there's no better time to be starting to get into crypto than right now. But the thing is you don't actually even have to know anything about it. For all you care, it could be growing your account, trading and selling soybeans. Doesn't really matter. It's just that it's doing 20 to 50% completely hands-free. So imagine being at the beach, imagine taking a flight, traveling, all of these things, and your money is growing for you hands-free. In fact, my account grew 3% while I've been traveling here in this tropical paradise that is Boracay. And it's interesting. It's like what we've been told about money is completely false. And so here, what we do is we actually it's a simple connection, right? You just set up your crypto account. We have a whole onboarding staff. They'll walk you through and they'll set it up for you. It can trade the account, it can see the funds, but it cannot withdraw the funds. And it's doing 20 to 50% on your money every single month. Well, that's a range, at least. We've seen it do less than 20%. We've seen it do more than 50%. This month, it did 51%. There have been months where it did 71%, 80%. So it just depends. But it's it's always been, the average that we've seen has been about 28%. Or if you take all of the months combined, it's been about 28%. So it's very awesome. So the thing is the developer, he had a minimum of $100,000 to get started. So we put up the money, and then we told him we wanted to open it up to our community. So at first he's like, okay, well, it's 100,000 minimum. We're like, we can't do that. Like, not everybody has that kind of money. And so he dropped it to 10,000 USD. And then we asked him to drop it again, and he dropped it to 1,000 USD. So you can actually get in and use this for a minimum of 1,000 USD as an investment. So that's your deposit that you would have in your own account. No one has access to that. You have complete access from day one. You can withdraw on day two if you wanted to. Doesn't matter. No one has access to it. You can, if you change your mind, it's all good. But the way that it works is it does 20 to 50% on your account. So the caveat is that you have to do a profit split with the developer. So it's a 50-50 split. So if you did 20% on $1,000, that's 200 bucks. So 100 goes to you, 100 goes to the developer. 50% on $1,000, that's 250 that goes to you, 250 that goes to the developer. Simple. Okay, so let's get into the power of compounding. Albert Einstein said it best. He says, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. So if you've ever been in credit card debt, you know how crazy true this is. I remember being a kid and running up a tab on my credit card. Didn't realize that you're going to get paid 20% interest, right? 20% interest. The banks are making a killing, right? They're making so much money utilizing compound interest. I personally think it's theft, but if you use it for yourself, it's probably one of the smartest things. So I'm going to show you how you can actually use our AI as almost a savings account on steroids. Okay. Because nowadays, when it comes to having money sitting in a bank account, it's probably one of the worst things that you could do. Literally one of the worst things you could do, because, for example, take the US dollar, which is the currency that all other currencies are pegged to, whether you're in Zimbabwe or in Kenya or in Brazil or in Europe or Canada or New Zealand or the US, it doesn't matter. None of them matters. It's all pegged to the US dollar. So it's all being affected. Hyperinflation is on the rise. And so you got to figure out ways to start to take your power back, because the money that you have sitting in your account is literally devaluing month to month, year to year. In fact, the US dollar, was losing 1% per month over 12 months. That's 12% in a year. So I'm going to show you how you can use this as a savings account on steroids. So let's say you started with the minimum of 1,000 US dollars, and it was doing 10% a month, right? Because if you do 20%, and then you do half of that goes to developer, that's 10% that you get left with per month, and you compounded it for 5 years. Let me show you something really nuts, really amazing. So let me show you. So if you started off, month one with 1,000. Oh, oops, it says 1,004. 1 second. Sorry, guys. 1,000. Bam. Okay, so if you started with 1,000, after 1 month of doing like 10% on that, you'd earn $100 interest, and you'd have $1,100 in your balance. Now you did 10% on the 1,100, you earn $110 interest, 1210. 10% of 1210, $121 in that month. You now have 1,331. Skip to 6 months, you have 1,771. You earn $161. Month 8, you earn $194.87. You more than doubled your account in 8 months. You have 2,143. So you're telling me that in 8 months, you basically more than doubled your account. That's over 100% growth. The banks are giving you 1% on your money in a year. And in 8 months, you did 100% hands-free. I mean, it's ridiculous. Now let's look at month 12, 1 year in. You're in $285 that month, and you're at 3138. 2 years in, 895.43. You have almost $10,000 in your account. 3 years in, you're in 2810 in 1 month. You have 30,912. Month 4, 8819. You almost earned $10,000 in a single month off of interest alone. You have almost $100,000 in your account. Now, 5 years in, you're in $27,680 and you have $304,481.64. This is the power of compounding. And I'm not telling you that you're going to automatically or you're going to 100% have that. But what I'm trying to tell you is the power of compounding. This is exactly what Einstein was saying. Instead of having your money in an account where you're losing money, and I know you see it because if you go to the grocery store, you're able to spend less money today than you were however many months ago, 6 months, a year. I personally, I'm not trying to be braggadocious or whatever. I don't even pay attention to the gas prices. I don't pay attention to grocery prices or anything, but I just know economics and that things are getting more expensive over time. If you take a look at Argentina, I mean, they were literally changing the prices every single day. That's how fast their currency is devaluing. And I'm sure in other countries it's just as bad, if not worse. And so this is a solution. You don't have to use the solution. Just find something where you can start to compound your money at least 1% a month. Okay. And we're talking 10% in a month. So let's talk about being an entrepreneur or an investor. There's a guy named Robert Kiyosaki that wrote this book called The Cash Flow Quadrant. He talks about the 4 ways to earn income. So the first one is being an employee. So you work a job, right? Let's say you work at a smoothie shop. You work from 9 to 5, you get paid from 9 to 5. I'll use a very clear example. So the place that I'm staying at right now here in Boracay, right downstairs, like literally 30-second walk, is this French restaurant. I've literally made friends with all of the employees, the manager, the owner. Like I've been there I go there a couple times a day. Okay. Like just whether to have a matcha or just to talk or whatever. And there's this one guy in particular, we became really cool friends. He's this Filipino kid, and he's there every single day, except one day a week. He works 6 days a week, maybe 10 to 12-hour shifts every single day. Super cool guy. Very ambitious, very friendly. But he's like, dude, I cannot stand the fact that I have to be in one place to earn income. He's like, I want to do what you do. So I remember like being at my job, like I hated being there. I had to be there, and it just felt like a restraint. Like I was restrained to one place. And I mean, I just like we're naturally free. That's who we are at our core. So going back to the guy, he is now starting to look into different options. He was like, oh, I want to open up my own restaurant. So he wanted to open up his own restaurant. So he would go from being an employee where he had a job to now becoming self-employed. So he's no longer having a job. He owned a job because he still is the lifeblood of the business. For example, the manager is a Filipino lady and she's married to this Belgian guy. And so they have to be there to run the business. If you're not there in your business will fall apart. It doesn't matter if you have 10 employees. Because the thing is, this is the truth. As an employee, you don't care about the business as much as the person that owns it. So you're not going to be doing all the due diligence and all these things. You can't really pay someone enough where it makes sense for you for them to treat it as their own. Even if they're the best worker, it's just not going to happen. You have to be there. You're still getting paid off for your time and efforts. So this side right here is based off of your time and efforts, and this side right here is based off of leverage. You get paid off of leverage. So as a business owner, you're leveraging other people's time and efforts, and you have a system. System stands for saving yourself some time, energy, money. Let's talk about Elon Musk. He has several 100,000 employees. Let's just, for math's sake, because I'm not that good at math, let's round it down to 100,000 employees. And we multiply that by 8 hours that they work for him every day. Elon Musk, just like you and I, has 24 hours in a day, but he is leveraging 800,000 man hours every single day. So that's how he's able to do all the things that he does. So that you're leveraging other people's time and efforts in this as a business owner, and then you're leveraging your money as an investor. Where it used to take you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to become an investor, like take real estate, for example. If you want to earn passive income off of real estate, you need to invest hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to now get paid off of the investor quadrant. So we're going to show you a way that you can actually earn as a business owner, as an investor. We already talked about Apollo, which you can now get started with literally minimum $1,000. Absolutely nuts that you can become an investor with literally $1,000. It's next level. So how do you get started? You want to get started with Dawn's process and the AI. You get both of these products for one price, and we put that in the freedom pack because it's going to give you ultimate freedom. So it's a one-time cost of $149, and then it's $99 every month after that. After you go through the process, after you use after you use the AI, you're going to get results, and you're going to want to share those results with people. And whenever you refer 3 people, and this is just you as a customer, you want to build a business, you're just referring people, you're telling people about what you've experienced, your membership is completely free. Okay, very simple. 3, and yours is free. Now let's talk about our partnership program, which is for the people that want to get paid off of leverage and want to build a big business. We have a really, really amazing partnership program. We're almost at I think maybe already at or over 20 people that have started to get paid off of our partnership program. So it's absolutely awesome. I think we just did a 3rd payment run, so that's revolutionary. Congratulations to all those people that are building and reaping the rewards of sharing our ecosystem. And so this is in the industry of network marketing. What network marketing is instead of using commercials, billboards, advertisements, we pay up to 80% to our partners. Instead of paying and investing millions of dollars in these traditional forms of marketing, we pay people like you and I. Very simple. You have the ability to earn an infinite income potential where you can earn anywhere from $100 a month all the way to $4 million every single month. You can earn some weekly residual income, which is just revolutionary. And if you don't know what residual income is, it will change your life. One form of residual income is in the real estate sector. And I know this because my other business is traditional and it's in the real estate sector. And so let's talk about the most traditional way that people think about real estate. It's like you buy a house, you buy a property. In the US, let's say you leverage $250,000 and your mortgage is $1,500 a month. And then you find someone to rent it for $2,000 every month, where you're making $500 in residual income per month every time they pay the bill. I'm going to show you a way that's way easier, way simpler, less headache, less overhead, and just way more fulfilling. Now, the third point here is that there are no qualifications or experiences needed. You don't have to have an amazing resume. You don't have to go to the best school. Doesn't matter about your religion. Doesn't matter about your race. Doesn't matter about the color of your skin. Whether you're white, black, brown, purple, yellow, red, orange, purple, it doesn't really matter. None of those things matter. Doesn't matter if you went to Yale. Doesn't matter if you went to jail. And I've been to jail. I've personally gone to jail a couple of times. I've done some really dumb stuff in my life. And that doesn't affect me. I can build, and I'm more free than I ever been. I never thought that I would be able to be this free after going through some of the stuff that I had gone through because I thought I really screwed up. So it doesn't matter. So if you're watching this, just know that the only two things that you need is to be coachable, meaning have an open mind, be coachable, and then also apply the things that you learn. And then there are team building incentives. So what that means is that you're in business for yourself here, but you're not in business by yourself. You have a whole team that's here for you to support you in your achievement of whatever it is that you want to achieve. Okay, now let's talk about the money. Let's talk about the compensation plan. Right, I heard this a long time ago by Jim Rohn. He says, really, what it is, like earning income, really what it is the value that you bring to the marketplace and the difficulty it is in replacing you. That's all it really is. So it's just becoming more of a valuable person, which here's the kicker. You already are. You have infinite value. And once you go through Don's process and you can fully step into that, you're just going to shine bright and all of the right people, circumstances, opportunities are all going to come right to you. And you're going to start to just reap the rewards that have always been meant for you. Right? Because abundance is always there, it's always present. It's just us that block it. So let's get into it. So if you want to, there's a couple of things that you need to know before knowing how to build this thing and how to earn an income. So there's the rank name, which would be like your corporate role. There's the network size, which is the size of the total network of customers and clients. And if you have any idea about business and you know whatever, you know that all you ever do is build a network of clients. Simply put, like let's talk about like for example, like your family doctor. He has, let's say, 100 input or 100 clients. Those clients come to him every 2 to 3 months. He created this network of clients and they pay him every couple of months. Simple. Now, there's the second qualifier. Whoops. The second qualifier, which is the personal referrals. And these are the people that you personally refer. And then there's 3 ways you get paid out. There's a weekly payout, which gets paid out every single Monday. One-time rank bonuses, which gets paid out. So if you hit it the first month, then you would get paid the second month. So it's just the following month. Whatever, if you hit it in like what are we in? June or July? I don't even know what day we're in. July, you get paid in August. Pretty simple. Now, the last way you get paid is the direct bonus, which is normally $50 per membership, but until pre-launch is over, we're going to pay you $100 per membership. And this is actually paid out daily. So if you bring someone into the membership, you get paid out literally within 24 hours. So pretty awesome. So to hit inviter, you're going to need 3 total, 2 on your left, 1 on your right. Out of these 3, you're going to bring 2 in, 1 on your left, 1 on your right. Let's say it's your mom and then your dad. And then your dad brings in your Uncle Johnny. Now you're getting paid $25 a week, which is $100 a month. Congratulations, you are an inviter. And let's say you did this in your first month. You got paid $100 here, $100 here, and then $25 times 4, which is $100. That is $300 that you earned in your first month, which is, I'm in the Philippines right now. And that's actually, even at $300 per month, that's actually completely life-changing money. I'm talking, some people don't even earn that in a month. So, and working like a full-time job, working 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. So put that into perspective. Now, connect to 200, 4 on your left, 4 on your right. Out of these 8, you only need 2. In fact, you only need 2 personals all the way to the 4th rank. So out of this 8, you only need 2. So let's say what really this is what be the best possible way for you to understand this is, let's say you got the inviter, you had your mom and your dad. you're going to help them go to inviter. You're going to help them get there to, they're going to need to have the 3 total. And from there, you become a connector 200. You help them do what you do, or what you did, and then you get to 200. So this is what Zig Ziglar says. He says, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want. So this is exactly that system to do it in. It's a win-win-win situation where the more people that you help, the more that you will win. Okay, now connector 500, you're going to need 10 left, 10 on the left, 10 on the right. And then out of those 20, you need 2. You're earning $125 a week, which is $500 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $500. Connector 900, 20 on your left, 20 on your right. You're going to bring in 2. You're going to pay $225 a week, which is $900 every single month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $900. So I'll give you a couple of scenarios. Like the first way I told you it could happen is you're going to help everyone on your team hit inviter. Not everyone's going to, but you can also, what could happen is, let's say you bring someone in, let's say your mom and your dad, and then your mom goes absolutely crazy. Your dad goes crazy. All of the volume that they bring in, it all counts towards your rank advancement. Okay. So if you find superstars that want this just as bad as you, if not more, all of that volume counts towards your rank ups. Okay, so connector 1500, 40 on your left, 40 on your right. The difference here is that you're going to bring 2 on your left, 2 on your right that you personally refer. Now you're getting paid $375 a week, which is $1,500 a month. And then you're earning $1,500 one time. Okay, so you can go part-time, earning $500 a month, $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, or you can go full-time, earning $9,000 a month, or you can go big time, earning $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 every single month. Okay, it's really up to you. Now, excuse me, my throat's scratchy. So at 25,000, you actually unlock a new bonus. It's called the global pool bonus. And what happens is we take 1% of all the global sales. So 1% of all the global sales, and we take that 1%, we put it into a pool where it's split amongst all the shares. So let's say there's 10 shares and there's $1 million, which is what the 1% would equal out to. This is an example. And so 10 shares divided by 1 million is $100,000 per share. So you would earn 100,000 extra per month every rank after speaker 25K. So if you're earning 25,000, you'd earn an extra 100,000 on top of that per month. And then at Master 750K, where you're earning $750,000 a month and beyond, you get second share. So you're going to get an extra 200,000 per month every month after you do that. So maybe you're like, dude, I have no clue how I'm going to do this. There are 2 solutions, 2 things that I want you to know or to just fathom and basically just allow yourself to digest or even just imagine the possibilities. So number 1, when you're fearful and you don't know how you're going to do something, that means you're still operating from that level of consciousness. So you need to do Don's process. That's number 1. Number 2, I'll share an example. And it was about 8 years ago. I was working with this girl. She was a little Vietnamese girl that I worked with. Her name was Tiffany. And she was a waitress at the time, earning $2,000 a month. And she wanted to change things in her life. She wanted to earn some more income. She wanted a different lifestyle. She was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So she ended up joining the team and started to work with us. But she didn't know how she was going to go about it. She's just like, hey, look, I'm really shy and I'm introverted. I need help. I need help to do this. I said, look, Tiffany, all you need to do is make the invitation to the presentation and we'll do the rest. You just plug into the system and allow the system to work for you. And so she did exactly that. She started to invite to the presentations and After 3 months, she was earning over $15,000 a month. Her mom and her uncle are both earning over $10,000 every single month. Absolutely crazy. And so the moral of the story is that if they could do it, you watching this call can absolutely do it. So go after what you really want, and we're here to help support you in attaining that. And you are in pre-launch if you're watching this live. We're in pre-launch. So what that means is you're at a ground floor opportunity. And when it comes to business, it's always about timing, timing, timing. Imagine if you invested in Apple when it first launched the company. Tony Robbins he said that there's a difference between consumer mindset and the investor mindset. So the consumer mindset, imagine if you bought every single iPhone that ever came out to date, you'd have $20,000 US. If you took that same 20,000 US dollars and you invested it into Apple stock at the time, you would have $200 million today. So that is the power of timing. And that's the power of what you have here with Divinfi. You have the same level of opportunity, because I don't believe, but I know where we're headed. You're going to be kicking yourself in the ass for not getting started sooner. If you're watching this and you haven't gotten started, I guarantee it, you're going to kick your ass later. Like my friend, his dad invested in Apple stock right whenever it launched. A couple months later, he ended up selling it because he was too anxious. Made a little bit of money, but ultimately, if he really saw the vision out, he would be a multi-millionaire. So Divinfi is more than just a financial system. It's a movement towards financial freedom and personal empowerment. So if you're in alignment with what we're creating, get back to the person that invited you and ask them for their unique link. So we hope that you join us today. I have a couple of things I'm going to announce, a couple of promotions. So stick around. We like to do awesome stuff for our team. And so we're giving away some awesome prizes. So if you come into the system, and if you do this before the August the 18th and you qualify, we're going to give you some prizes. So if you bring 10 people, 10 memberships into the system, you're going to get a brand new GoPro. 20 directly into the membership, you're going to get an iPhone. 30, you get a MacBook. Now, the second, I should say the third promotion is, if you connect your 1,500, you're going to get a 3-day, 2-night stay at the hotel where we're having our very first Divinfi event. And if you hit connect to 3,000, you're going to get an all-inclusive, which is going to include the hotel, VIP access to the event, and then hotel VIP access to the event and the flight for all connector 3000s. If there's 1,000 people that qualify for these promotions, we're giving away 1,000 prizes. Okay, it doesn't matter. There's no first, second, or third. Everybody has the ability to win. And if you want to stay connected to all things Divinfi, scan this QR code. If you're not already following us, I'd follow us on Instagram. I would join the Facebook and the Telegram group. Those are the best places that you can join today. So that way you're just in the loop. And yep, what I'll do now is I will open it up for some Q&A. If you have any questions, especially for the people that are first watching this information, please feel free to ask away. Remember, the squeaky wheel is the one that gets the oil. So you need to make sure that you're actually speaking up. If you need help or if you have some questions, make sure to ask. Yeah, it's funny because I remember someone said this like kind of interesting comment to me the other day. It's like, yeah, I know you're so busy helping Tui. I'm like, bro, I'm helping Tui because he's asking me for help and he's putting in the work. You need to, if you want help, then you ask me. Like, come on. Like I'm not so busy helping Tui. In fact, Tui does a lot of the work on his own and he just plugs into the system. And he's like, I help him get people into the system. He's already done the most of the work. So I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. like, So yeah, any questions? Exactly. See, TUI helps you. Ella had sent me a private message saying TUI helps me also. Exactly. We're here to help one another, right? If you need support, you reach out to one of the leaders, to myself, to Jamie, to Will, somebody, right? Like closed mouths don't get fed. It's just what it is. Like
I love that. I love that. I've never heard that before. That's awesome.
I have a question.
Yes.
The promotion that you've got on, is that is that $100 per that the promotion, and how long is that on for?
Oh, so the $100 promotion, that is actually until we launch the full-on blockchain system. So that would probably be based off of our developer. The last thing he said was 6 weeks. But like I said, it could be longer. It could be maybe a little bit shorter. But you have a little bit over a month to really capitalize on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go to the moon. Let's do it.
Let's do
Double
it,
up
it.
all the way.
Yeah, man, it's been nice. It's been real nice.
Awesome.
Especially whenever now you guys can get paid daily. I mean, like we literally, like, you sign somebody up and you're giving them the best system in the world, and then you get paid that same day. I mean, where do they do that at? Like
Oh man.
What's up, Janet? Long time no see, buddy. Timothy, Angel, Lena.
Hi. Sorry, I had family over,
Oh, you're
Since-
good.
so I've been super busy.
No worries, no worries. I get it. Stuff happens. Life gets in the way sometimes. But you're here now.
Yeah, I'm here now.
Yeah.
So for everyone that's so Don's gonna have his class here in a couple of hours. Definitely make sure to hop in and also invite your people. That's gonna be super powerful, of course, for all the people that have experienced it. And if it's your first time, like I know we have Lena from Kenya. Shout out to you, Lena. You're literally the pioneer of Kenya. So make sure to hop in to Don's class, because that's going to be next level, right? It's going to take everything to the whole other level for you, whether it's in the system or whether it's in your personal life, right? So Ella, if you can, make sure that she does get the questionnaire and that she gets the Zoom webinar and all that. And then for everybody else that's viewing this for the first time, get back to the person that invited you and just, I would just get started, really. That's nothing really else to say. Like it's really a no-brainer at this point. I feel like a parrot because I've been just saying the same things over and over, but it really is a no-brainer. And once we launch this full-on blockchain system, I mean, like, it's off to the races. I mean, it's already been off to the races, but
You don't have to hold me back.
yeah, we're having to hold you. We're not holding no, bro. You're running. I love it. I love it. And now you're developing leaders out here. Out here already expanding into many different countries. It's absolutely phenomenal to see.
Yeah. Kenya's in the house. Go Kenya.
Yeah. I would love to go to
South
Kenya.
Africa.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
so any questions? I know you guys are in New Zealand and Australia. It's pretty late for you guys. So, or is it early? Or what time is it there?
It is. It's It's 2 in the morning for me. 2 in the
It's
morning.
Oh,
yeah.
I
It's
see.
4 o'clock. It's 4
Yeah.
a.m. for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. How are you still up, Ella?
She's a champion.
I
She's
remember when
on.
I was staying up till 5 in the morning at in Dubai. I was like drinking like caffeine at the wazoo. I don't know how I was doing it, but
Welcome,
do you have
Lena.
work?
Awesome.
Do you have work, Ella, or no?
Yes.
Yep.
I usually have to
What?
leave home at 7:15.
We both
So
have work.
did you wake up early or how how does that work?
Very difficult.
Yeah, so anybody that's watching this and has an excuse, Ella is up at 4 in the morning. Tui's up at 2 in the morning and building their dreams. Okay, so I don't want to hear no damn excuses. I love it. I love it. It's awesome. Pretty soon we're gonna have you guys out of the job, so then it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
we'll see you guys at Dawn's class. For all of you that are attending, make sure to do the questionnaire. It's super important to do. It's imperative that you do that. Ella actually did it on her birthday, so
Yay.
what an awesome birthday gift.
What a
Yes,
beautiful
best
gift.
gift ever. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so awesome. Janet actually, she's done it with him one-on-one, and she still attends those classes. So it's a good reminder as well for if you have done it before to go through it over and over again. Just because sometimes, especially if you're around people that are not on this level of consciousness and whatnot, it might get a little tricky sometimes. And then if you're at a job and people are at this low level of victim consciousness, not saying that it has to affect you. I believe that we are the cause of things, not at the effect of but it can, especially if you miss a divine focus here and there and whatnot, blah blah. Like so it's important to go through it multiple times. So I'm personally going to reach out to all of my team members and invite them to the call. Whether actually, like, even if they have gone through it, they can go to that class as well. But for the new clients that have never, they need to make sure to go to that specific one first if they want to go to the Thursdays. But with that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go so you can get some shut-eye, and so that way you're not completely exhausted tomorrow. And for the rest of the people in the world, you guys have a great start to your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Love your energy, brother.
Love
your
you
energy.
guys.